The Johnsons had lived in Maplewood Estates for nearly 10 years. Their home wasn't the biggest or fanciest in the neighborhood, but it was theirs, filled with laughter, memories, and warmth. On a quiet Monday morning, Lisa Johnson went to the mailbox and noticed something unusual, a crisp white envelope with Maplewood HOA printed on it. "Mark, did you get one of these?" she asked, holding it out. Mark, her husband, took it and frowned. Probably just another reminder about the lawn. You know how picky they can be. Lisa carefully opened the letter. Her hands trembled as she read the first lines. "Dear homeowner, your property is in violation of HOA regulations. Failure to comply may result in legal action, including eviction." "What? Eviction? From our home?" Lisa whispered, panic rising in her chest. Mark ran a hand through his hair. "There must be a mistake. We've paid every fee, fixed every issue. This can't be real." The children, Maya and Jordan, peeked into the kitchen. "Mom, Dad? What's wrong?" Maya asked, her voice small and worried. Lisa forced a smile, trying to calm herself. "Nothing, baby. Just adult stuff. Go play for a while." But the panic didn't fade. The Johnsons weren't just worried about paperwork, they were among the few Black families in Maplewood Estates. And the HOA had a reputation for being aggressive, especially toward families like theirs. Mark picked up the phone. "I'm calling them. There has to be some mistake. Maplewood HOA, how can I help you?" The cheerful yet clipped voice answered. "This is Mark Johnson. We just received an eviction notice." "There must be a mistake," he said. "Oh, Mr. Johnson," the voice replied almost mockingly. "You're very much in violation. Complaints have been filed. You have until Friday to comply or face further action." "Complaints? What complaints?" Mark shouted. "There are rules here. You should review them," the HOA representative said before hanging up. Lisa's heart raced. "We've lived here 10 years. 10 years! How can they just try to kick us out?" Mark gripped her hand. "We're not giving up without a fight." Over the next 2 days, the Johnsons tried everything: calls, emails, meetings. Each attempt ended with the same cold response: "Comply or leave." Lisa stared at the eviction notice, her uniform neatly laid out on the chair. As a Navy veteran, she had faced dangers most people couldn't imagine. Yet the HOA's threat felt crushing. Mark noticed her tension. "Lisa, you've handled worse. You're strong. We can get through this." Lisa's eyes glimmered with determination. "You're right. This isn't just about rules. This is about respect, about our family. I'll handle this." The next morning, she put on her Navy uniform, polished her shoes, and stood in front of the mirror. Her service ribbons caught the sunlight. She whispered to herself, "I served my country. I can stand up for my family." Mark held her hand as they left the house. "Whatever happens, we're in this together." Lisa nodded. The HOA had no idea what they were about to face. If you've ever felt powerless against unfair rules or injustice, imagine the courage it takes to stand tall. Stay with this story. You won't believe what happens next. Thursday morning came, but the Johnsons hardly slept. The weight of the HOA's threat hung over them like a dark cloud. Lisa sat at the kitchen table, staring at her Navy uniform laid out neatly beside her. Each fold represented strength, discipline, and the battles she had already fought overseas. Today she would fight a different kind of battle, one for her family, her home, and justice. Mark poured her a cup of coffee. "You ready for this?" he asked gently. Lisa nodded, taking a deep breath. "I have to be. They're not just threatening us. They're trying to scare us into giving up." "I won't let them." Maya and Jordan peeked from the doorway, worry written across their little faces. "Mom, are we really in danger?" Maya asked. Lisa knelt, pulling them close. "Sweetheart, we're safe." But sometimes standing up for what's right means facing fear. And that's exactly what we're going to do, together. Mark added, "We're not alone. And courage spreads when you need it most." Lisa nodded, feeling her resolve grow. She picked up her phone and started drafting emails to neighbors she trusted. She wanted to quietly rally support, not just for herself, but to ensure that the HOA knew their community wouldn't stand by silently. By mid-morning, she slipped into her Navy uniform. The crisp blue fabric, polished shoes, and the glint of her service ribbons made her feel invincible, not because of the uniform, but because it reminded her of everything she had already endured, and everything she was willing to endure to protect her family. Mark adjusted her cap. "You look like a hero," he said with a smile. Lisa chuckled softly. "I hope they realize today that a hero doesn't give in to fear. And neither does a family fighting for their home." The children, sensing their mother's determination, dressed in their little uniforms from last Halloween, pretending to be brave alongside her. "We're with you, Mom," Jordan said. Lisa held their hands tightly. "And that makes all the difference." When they arrived at the HOA office, Lisa noticed a few curious neighbors peeking from behind their fences. Some looked worried, others hesitant, but all were watching. The Johnsons' stand was about to become more than just a family fight. Lisa stepped out of the car, took a deep breath, and looked at Mark. "It's time. No backing down. This is our home." Mark squeezed her hand. "We've got this, together." With that, Lisa walked toward the office, her steps steady, her posture commanding. Every step was a statement. She would not be intimidated. She would not be silenced, and she would not leave without a fight. When facing fear or injustice, preparation and courage can make all the difference. Stand tall, rally. Support, and remember, you are never truly alone. Lisa Johnson stepped into the HOA office. Her navy uniform crisp, shoes polished, and service ribbons gleaming under the fluorescent lights. She felt the weight of every decision she had ever made, every challenge she had faced in the Navy, and every sacrifice she had made for her family. This was her next battle. "Ms. Johnson, Mr. Harris," the HOA board president said with a forced smile. "We weren't expecting you in person. I hope you understand the severity of this situation." Lisa stood tall. "I understand perfectly. And I also understand that threatening a family with eviction after 10 years of residency is not only unfair, it's wrong." A board member tried to interrupt. "There have been multiple complaints filed." Lisa raised her hand, stopping him. "Complaints about what? A lawn? Trash bins? Minor things that could be fixed? You're trying to use rules to intimidate us. That ends today." Mr. Harris leaned back in his chair, his expression tight. "Rules are rules. We simply enforce them. There's nothing personal here." Lisa's eyes narrowed. "It becomes personal when you target a family because of who they are. I am a Navy veteran. I serve my country. I have faced danger to protect people who could not protect themselves. Do not mistake my calm for weakness." Her voice echoed through the room, steady, commanding. "I will not leave my home. I will not be bullied. And I will not stand by while my family is threatened. You want us to comply? You better understand that courage cannot be forced away by papers or threats." The board members exchanged uneasy glances. Lisa could see doubt flicker across their faces. Mark, standing just outside the door, had been quietly observing. He could see the change. The board was no longer certain they could intimidate his family. Lisa's calm authority had shifted the balance of power. One younger board member whispered, "Maybe we should reconsider." Lisa took a deep breath and continued, "I am not asking for special treatment. I am asking for fairness. If you continue this, we will take it as far as necessary, legally, publicly, and morally, and the community will see exactly how you treat the families who live here." A tense silence filled the room. Lisa's words had weight, power, and truth. For the first time, the HOA seemed to realize they had misjudged the Johnsons. Before leaving, Lisa turned toward them one last time. "Remember this, a home is not just walls and a roof. It's where a family grows, laughs, and dreams. You may have rules, but we have courage, dignity, and the law on our side. This ends with fairness, or it ends badly for you. When faced with injustice, courage and clarity are stronger than fear. Stand tall, speak your truth, and never underestimate the power of integrity." Friday morning in Maplewood Estates felt unusually heavy. The Johnsons' house, usually a quiet place, now buzzed with tension. Word of Lisa's confrontation with the HOA had spread quickly. Neighbors whispered over fences, cars slowed on the streets, and children paused mid-play to watch the unfolding drama. Inside, Lisa and Mark were busy preparing. The children, Maya and Jordan, clung to their mother, sensing the seriousness of the situation. "Mom, are they really going to make us leave?" Maya asked, her small voice trembling. Lisa knelt down, looking directly at her daughter's eyes. "Sweetheart, we are safe. But sometimes standing up for what's right means facing fear. And that's exactly what we're going to do, together." Mark added, "We're not alone. People are watching. People care. Courage spreads when it's needed most." Outside, a few curious neighbors had gathered. unsure of what to do but drawn in by the tension. Some shook their heads at the HOA's audacity, while others whispered doubts about speaking out. Lisa noticed them. She understood. They were afraid of retaliation, afraid of becoming targets themselves. That afternoon, Lisa decided to take her stand beyond the HOA office. She picked up her phone and recorded a short video. In it, she spoke directly to the camera. "My family is facing eviction from our home because of unfair rules. We are standing up for what's right. If you've ever felt powerless, remember this. Courage matters. Stand up, speak out, and protect your family. You are not alone." Within hours, her message spread online. People shared the video, commenting on her bravery. Support messages poured in, not just from neighbors, but from strangers who admired her courage and determination. Some offered legal advice, others offered to rally community support. The HOA, however, remained unyielding. They sent more notices, some official-looking, others veiled threats. "Comply or face legal action," one read. But every action they took seemed only to fuel the communities. Support for the Johnsons. Neighbors began speaking out publicly, some confronting the HOA at board meetings, others simply showing visible support outside the Johnsons' home. Signs appeared in yards. "We stand with the Johnsons, encourage intimidation." It was becoming clear that the HOA's attempts to isolate the family had backfired. One afternoon, as Lisa was walking up the driveway with Maya and Jordan, Mr. Thompson, an elderly neighbor, stepped forward. "Lisa, don't let them scare you. You're doing the right thing. We're behind you." Lisa felt a surge of relief. It wasn't just about the house anymore. It was about justice, fairness, and showing that a community could stand together. Mark, noticing the support, whispered, "See? You're not just fighting for your home. You're inspiring others? You've made a difference already." Lisa smiled faintly, her determination unbroken. "Yes, and we're only getting started." As evening approached, Lisa looked around her neighborhood. People she had only nodded to before now nodded with pride. Even those who had stayed silent before were quietly expressing approval. The Johnsons were no longer isolated. They had the support of their community and the growing eyes of the public watching every move. The tension, however, was far from over. The HOA still threatened legal action, and they were clearly planning something more aggressive. But the Johnsons were ready. Lisa and Mark began preparing documents, recording evidence, and reaching out to supportive neighbors who could testify if needed. That night, after putting the children to bed, Lisa sat on the porch with Mark. The stars twinkled overhead, but she could feel the storm coming. "Do you think we can really win this?" Mark asked, concern heavy in his voice. Lisa took a deep breath. "Winning isn't just about evicting the threats. It's about standing tall, showing courage, and inspiring others. And yes, we can win because we're not alone." The next morning, the neighborhood woke to a subtle shift. More neighbors appeared, walking past the Johnsons' house with visible support. Cars honked in encouragement. The HOA's influence was shrinking. For the first time, the Johnsons saw the power of collective courage. Their fight was becoming everyone's fight. Lisa looked at her family and whispered, "We've built more than a home here. We've built a movement. When injustice feels overwhelming, remember, courage spreads and community matters. Stand up, speak out. Your actions can inspire countless others." Saturday arrived with a tension that could almost be felt in the air. Maplewood Estates, usually calm on weekends, seemed different, charged, expectant. News of the Johnsons' stand had spread through the neighborhood. Word traveled fast. Lisa, a Navy veteran, was refusing to comply with the HOA's eviction threats. Inside their home, Lisa and Mark prepared. Maya and Jordan clung to their mother's hands, sensing the gravity of the day. "Mom, what if they try to force us out?" Jordan asked, voice small. Lisa knelt, looking into both their eyes. "Nothing can happen as long as we stand together. Today, we show them what courage looks like. Not just me, but all of us." Mark added, "We're ready, and we're not alone. Remember, the community is behind us." By mid-morning, the Johnsons stepped outside. Their driveway was lined with neighbors holding signs of support. "We stand with the Johnsons and courage." Intimidation. Cars passed by, honking, showing solidarity. The HOA had hoped intimidation would isolate the family. Instead, the neighborhood had become a wall of support. Suddenly, the HOA's enforcement van pulled up. Several men in suits and badges stepped out carrying legal papers. Their expressions were stern, confident, or at least they tried to look confident. "Ms. Johnson," Mr. Harris barked, "this is your final warning. Evict your property or legal action will commence immediately." Lisa took a deep breath, standing tall in her Navy uniform. Her service ribbons caught the sunlight. She addressed them firmly, her voice clear and unwavering. "I am a Navy veteran. I have faced danger to protect those who could not protect themselves. I have defended people in foreign lands, and now I defend my family and my home. You do not have the right to bully us. My family belongs here, and we will not be intimidated." The crowd of neighbors cheered quietly at first, then louder. One neighbor stepped forward, waving a small American flag. "You're not alone, Lisa," another neighbor shouted. "We've got your back! You've done nothing wrong!" Mark joined Lisa on the porch. "Look at them, Lisa. People are standing with you." "You've shown them courage matters more than their threats." Lisa nodded, addressing the HOA again. "This isn't just about papers or rules. It's about justice. Intimidation doesn't work when a community stands together. We are not backing down, and the people around us will see exactly what you tried to do and failed." Mr. Harris faltered. You can't defy the rules." Lisa shook her head. "Rules are meant to protect, not punish. Your rules are being misused to threaten a family, and that is wrong. I am prepared to take this as far as needed, legally, publicly, and morally." The HOA men exchanged nervous glances. Their authority, once intimidating, felt hollow under the gaze of a united community. The children, Maya and Jordan, hugged their mom tightly. "We're safe, Mom?" Maya asked. Lisa smiled, holding them close. "We are. And because of courage and unity, we always will be." Suddenly, the crowd erupted, voices shouting support, clapping, and cheering. Some neighbors held signs high. Others honked car horns. The HOA officers, realizing they could not force the family out without a public spectacle, seemed to lose their resolve. One of the HOA lawyers muttered, "Maybe we should reconsider." Lisa's eyes scanned the crowd. "Today, courage has won. This is a reminder that standing up matters. When you see injustice, act. Speak out. Protect what is right." Mark held her hand tightly. "You've not only defended our home, you've reminded everyone that fear can't win against truth and unity." Lisa nodded. "Exactly. Courage is contagious. And today we've inspired more than just our neighborhood. We've shown that intimidation can't beat integrity." For the first time in weeks, the tension lifted. The HOA backed down, realizing any action against the Johnsons now would cause more harm than good. They retreated quietly, defeated by the combination of law, courage, and community support. As the crowd dispersed, neighbors stopped by to offer congratulations, hugs, and kind words. Some admitted they had been hesitant to speak up before, but seeing Lisa's bravery had given them the courage to stand as well. Lisa stepped back inside with Mark and the children. Maya whispered, "Mom, you're our hero." Lisa smiled, brushing hair from her daughter's forehead. "And you, Maya, are part of this courage, too. Never forget that standing up matters." Mark added, "This is bigger than just our home. This is about fairness, justice, and inspiring others to act when they see wrong." That evening, Lisa recorded a short video for social media. "To everyone facing injustice, courage matters. Stand up, speak out, and protect your home and family. You are not alone, and your actions can inspire others." As night fell, the Johnsons sat together on the porch, watching the sunset. The house was still theirs, but more importantly, they had proven something profound. Courage, integrity, and unity could overcome fear and intimidation. Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed impossible? Stand tall. Speak your truth. Protect your family. Courage changes everything, and your actions might inspire countless others. After the intense showdown with the HOA, a sense of calm settled over the Johnsons' home, but it was a calm built on triumph, resilience, and newfound respect. The storm of intimidation had passed, and what remained was the clarity that courage and community could protect even the most vulnerable families. Lisa, still in her Navy uniform from the confrontation, walked through her living room, feeling the familiar comfort of her home. Every corner of the house held memories, the laughter of Maya and Jordan, the dinners with Mark, and the quiet evenings spent reading together. This home was more than just four walls. It was the symbol of her family's perseverance. Maya ran up to her mother, tugging at her sleeve. "Mom, everyone's talking about us. People online are saying you're so brave." Lisa knelt down and hugged her daughter tightly. "It wasn't just me, baby. It was all of us. And the people who stood with us, neighbors, friends, even strangers, they made this possible." Mark came up behind them, placing his hands on their shoulders. "We've shown that standing up for what's right works. We're safe and we've made a difference." The next day, neighbors continued to show support. Some dropped off flowers, others brought baked goods, and many offered kind words. Even those who had been hesitant to speak out before now expressed admiration for Lisa's courage. It was clear that the Johnsons' fight had inspired an entire community. Lisa knew, however, that the battle was more than personal. It was also a lesson for others. She picked up her phone and recorded another message, speaking directly to the camera. "To everyone watching, if you've ever felt powerless, if you've been intimidated, or told you don't belong, this story is proof that courage changes everything. Stand tall, speak out, protect your family, your home, and what you believe is right. You are never alone." Mark joined her, adding, "Your actions matter. One stand can inspire many. Don't let fear control you." That evening, the Johnsons gathered on the porch, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The children played nearby, laughing freely, oblivious to the chaos that had surrounded their family just days earlier. For Lisa and Mark, the sight was more than comforting. It was a reminder of what they had fought for. Lisa reflected on the past week, the threatening letters, the tense confrontations, the uncertainty, and the overwhelming fear. Yet through it all, she had learned something vital. Courage was contagious. By standing up, she had not only protected her family, but also inspired neighbors to act when injustice appeared. The neighborhood had changed, too. Conversations among neighbors shifted from whispers of fear to words of support and unity. The Johnsons had inadvertently created a ripple effect, a demonstration that standing up to bullying and intimidation could empower an entire community. The children, sensing the relief, approached Lisa. "Mom, we're going to be okay, right?" Jordan asked. Lisa smiled, holding both of their hands. "Yes, baby. We are not just okay. We're stronger than ever, and we've shown that standing up is never wasted." Mark hugged Lisa, whispering, "You've reminded everyone that true strength isn't about being loud or aggressive. It's about courage, dignity, and standing firm when it matters most." The next morning, Lisa contacted a local news station. Her story, of a Navy veteran, defending her family from unfair eviction and rallying a community, was broadcast widely. Messages of support poured in from across the country. People thanked Lisa for inspiring them to stand up in their own lives. Whether it was facing workplace intimidation, bullying, or unfair treatment in their communities, Lisa realized then that their home had become more than just a physical space. It had become a symbol of resilience, courage, and justice. A symbol that even in the face of fear, truth, and unity would prevail. As the days passed, life began to return to a peaceful rhythm. The HOA retreated quietly, their threats no longer effective. The Johnsons celebrated small victories. A clean lawn, a repaired fence, and quiet evenings with family games and laughter. But the real victory was far greater, the affirmation that standing up for what's right can inspire hope, not just for oneself but for everyone watching. Lisa recorded one final message for social media, her voice calm but powerful. "Remember this, you are never powerless. No one can take away your courage, your voice, or your home if you stand firm. Protect your family, protect your community. Stand tall and inspire others. Courage changes everything." Mark hugged her from behind, whispering, "We did it, Lisa. We really did it." Lisa looked out at the children playing on the lawn, the sun warming their faces. "Yes," she said softly, "and they will never forget that courage matters." Today, tomorrow, and always, the Johnsons had faced intimidation, fear, and the threat of losing their home. But through courage, unity, and determination, they had not only protected their family, they had inspired an entire community, proving that standing up for what's right can create ripples far beyond one house. If you've ever faced injustice, intimidation, or fear, remember this story. Stand tall, speak your truth, protect your family, your home, and your values. Courage is contagious, and your actions can inspire countless others. Share this story, stand up, and never let fear decide your future.